Welcome to the Basket Buds edition of the Athletic NBA Show podcast on the Athletic Podcast Network. I'm your host, Zach Harper. We got Trevon Edwards. We got Jay King. We got Mo Dakhil. We got Dave DeFore producing. And I'm trending. This morning I woke up to trending because aggregators misrepresented what I said, which is fine. I was called Talk Poops. I actually appreciated that. Anyone who called me a clown said I don't know basketball. I don't appreciate. I do appreciate being called Talk Poops because that guy stinks. That is good criticism right there. All right, guys, we got a lot to talk about. We had the first weekend of the NBA playoffs, but two things that happened during the playoffs caused me to write an article for The Athletic in which I said to ban the fucking charge because it's not basketball. It's grifting. It is grifting. I'm sick of people grifting. I'm sick of foul hunting. I'm sick of flopping. I'm sick of grifting. And that's what the charge is, except the charge is dangerous grifting. So we had Ja Morant try to dunk on Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis, who had 7 blocks in that game, thought, I'm not going to try to block this. I'll just slide under him and take the coward's way out and try to take a charge. I believe that was called a charge.
That was a charge.
Yeah, and I don't really think it should have been. Well, it's bang bang. I could actually see it either way. But he ends up falling on the play. He hurts his wrist. He leaves the game. He didn't come back. And now we have these BetMGM odds for the series. The best odds are Grizzlies in 7, which is a coward's pick. Okay, that's plus 400. But BetMGM, the next 4 odds, 4 best odds for this series are Lakers in 6, Lakers in 4, Lakers in 5, Lakers in 7 before you get back to the Grizzlies in 6 or 5. So we're going from like plus 300 for Lakers in 6 to plus 400 to Grizzlies in 7. And then it's like plus 450 for Lakers in 4 or 5. Ja Morant, maybe you can play. He seemed like at first he said it was in jeopardy and then said that he's going to try to play. We'll see. The other one we had was Kevin Love sliding in under Giannis as he took off. That was a block. Giannis corkscrewed in the air, fell on his back, tried to give it a go, ended up only playing 11 minutes in the game, and the Heat just absolutely demolished the Milwaukee Bucks like it's 2020 and ended up beating them. Jimmy was incredible, but now Giannis, lower back contusion. Hopefully he'll be able to go. We thought he blew out his knee and then he had like one of the greatest NBA finals ever. So I'm not going to doubt him. But the charge needs to be banned. Jay, I'm sorry. I know you love white players and that's an offense to them, but
this is for Kyle Lowry.
It's for Marcus Smart.
We know it's Marcus
Smart.
Lowry.
It's Aaron Kraft. It's Wojo. It's all those people. But
Shane Battier, great charge taker.
So to the stupid person who's going to respond, what? So now offensive players can do whatever? No, I proposed 7 rule changes to help defenders, including you should allow hand checking. Let's expand the restricted area. Let's allow looser verticality at the rim so defensive players actually have a chance here. Like, I want competitive play on the court. I don't want, I wrote in the article, we had 2 guys go for 70 this year, and no one cared 2 days later. Dame went for 70. Donovan went for 70. Nobody cared later on in the week. Scoring has become meaningless other than the results of the games. And so, Jay, I'm going to give you a chance to respond to this after I talk to the other guys because I want to hear them first. Mo, what do you think about banning the charge?
Do it. Ban the weak side rotation.
It was super. Yeah.
That's all we've done to you, Jay, in the past few weeks. I don't think you've noticed the disrespect that has come your way. We literally did the Aztec minute instead of the Kings minute.
That was disrespectful too.
That was hilarious. So I'm all about banning the weak side charge. I just think it's one of those things where it's rotate over and be a traffic cone. You got to make a defensive play there. It's one of those things. You said it. It's a bang bang play. You talked about it with the Lakers Grizzlies charge situation, right? You thought it might be a block or whatever. Let's just take this out of the officials' hands. That's a tough play to officiate because it's so quick and you don't know if the guy got there in time, whatnot. Is he in the charge circle? All of those things, a million different situations of that. It's a dangerous play. Basketball is a contact sport, not a collision sport. That is a collision play. That play encourages colliding with the other guy. Take the hit, all of that stuff. This isn't football. We got to get it out of the game.
Trey, before we let Jay talk. Trey, what's your stance on this? You're obviously the biggest hooper out of all of us. What do you think on this one?
For somebody who's taken 50 charges in one season, I'm all for the charge.
You took
one
50?
season?
Yeah.
Why?
What kind of maniac were you?
What the
I
fuck?
mean,
Trey.
That was a turn. I wasn't ready for that stat. That was a turn.
50?
So, in JUCO.
Play a 100-game season? What happened?
Nah. So what happened was our big wasn't really like he wasn't that good at defending. And most of the time I would bail him out as a second man in defense. You know what I mean? So like I would get away with a lot of stuff. Now, I do think that it helps the defender some way. But if we remove the charge, then we get more offense. And like you said, somebody scores.
But not if we make the changes that I'm saying. I'm saying get rid of the charge, allow hand checking, right? Like allow certain things to help defenders. I don't want to just eliminate it.
I still think that it doesn't shift too much. Obviously, this has been around before we've all been alive. And it's a part of the game. Yes, there are injuries. Someone mentioned that we should remove the aerial charge, which you can't really predict because that just happens in the motion of the game. But at the end of the day, this still is in the help of the defense. Like the defense needs this because, again, all the rules so far are set up for the offensive player to succeed. Unfortunately, the block charge situation caused two pivotal players, superstars, to get injured that may swing or shift this series. And I mean, that can happen in anything, freak accident, these type of things, but I think it should remain. But I do hear your point where it comes from, where, the officials do not get this play right. You could flip a coin and it's always still, I have yet to see someone say, you know what, that was accurate. Maybe even moving it further up, I might be opposed to doing, where it's a foot up, right? Where you got more room to navigate, and now that play isn't so nasty where somebody's trying to step in. They just get banged on. You know what I'm saying? Or they get sidestepped even more. But when you got hey, did his foot move? Did his foot come up barely? He was above the line, or this, that, and the third. You're not giving it's no more protection than how a shooter doesn't have in his landing spot.
Right. That's the thing. If you're like, that's one of the parts of this is like, if we need to give shooters space to land because it's dangerous, motherfuckers jumping in the air full speed.
Yeah.
Like, and we're like, oh, just slide under there, take a charge, you're good. Like that's basketball. Like, man, that's worse.
Yeah, it's a considerable low
worse.
bridge. It's a considerable low bridge. There's a lack of control once you become aerial, right?
Yeah, right.
Because now you have to figure out, how are you going to protect yourself on the fall? Giannis hurt himself on his lower back. Ja hurt his fingers or wrist, right? Either or, you're sacrificing. You might give up your shoulder. We're not stunt men out there. You know what I mean? When you're playing basketball, you're not taught how to fall. You know what I mean? In that situation, you know what I mean? So if they're not teaching players how to fall when taking these type of things, we're going to continue to see these type of injuries. But again, it is here to stay. And I don't think Zach is an idiot. I think that it is definitely a conversation that also needs to be.
Other things, sure.
No, but I'm saying I think it's a conversation that needs to be looked at. Yeah. I understand that it's been here and it's like, it's impossible to take out or this and that. But for the safety of the players, I agree that maybe if there is an elevation of the line or there creates a situation where there's a penalty towards it. You know what I mean? Like if you take a certain, say it goes flagrant 2, right? It's flagrant 2 the less serious one, right?
No, flagrant 2, you're out.
But flagrant 1.
Okay. So say if you initially take this charge and it's potential injury, situation, you're given a flagrant 1. So now there's consequences on that player actually thinking to take that play. Not heady, but like more so thoughtful in the safety of the player. The same way as somebody having a fast break and you're like, bro, you have no chance of blocking this. And you just chase down and you jump and you get ready to block and like that guy comes down, rolls his ankle or breaks something. You never had a chance. Now you're penalized for that. So I think that maybe you consider that, but at the end of the day, I don't see any of that stuff happening. And Injuries are a part of the game.
So Jay, what's your opinion right now on this?
Well, first of all, if you take away a weak side charge, what are you gonna do when Giannis is running straight to the hoop? Like literally, there's gonna be rotations in the game. Are they just allowed to get trucked?
The shot.
Are they allowed to get trucked? What happens if they get trucked?
Okay, so
if they show up, they're in the right spot. They're in between him and
Jay. Thanks for reading. If you lower your shoulder, still an offensive foul. If you push off, still an offensive foul. Here's an idea.
Okay.
Here's an idea.
So he doesn't lower his shoulder, but he just runs straight at the rim, right?
Challenge the fucking shot.
And you come over and you're just in perfect guarding position, but he's allowed to run straight into your chest. That makes no sense.
Build a defensive wall
whatsoever.
Build a defensive wall. No, no, we don't do that yet because that never works. Look at the 2019 Raptors.
You can't build a charge if he's just you can't build a wall if he's allowed to run straight through your chest.
Okay,
shouts to Stan Van Gundy.
But how about
Jay?
this?
Nobody's actually saying that.
Right. No one's saying that. You're doing a straw man argument.
You just said there's no charge.
If we're allowing hand checking, if we are expanding the restricted area, if we are taking away the pass and crash rule, if we are allowing verticality to be opened up to where you don't have to necessarily be completely straight up to get that, if we're doing all this stuff to help improve the defender, then why is your scenario a problem? Again, it's not eliminate the charge.
Okay.
It's not eliminate the charge and just do nothing. It is eliminate the charge and improve defensive rules so we have more competitive basketball on both ends of the floor.
Okay, so you double team Kevin Durant at the arc, right?
And he passes to Giannis. Like, what's the scenario happening?
He passes to DeAndre Ayton. And you're rotating over from the weak side. DeAndre Ayton can just run at the rim, and it doesn't matter. As long as he doesn't put his shoulder down, he can just go up and try to dunk it on you.
And why can't the weak side player play defense here?
I'm just saying, like,
Jay, your response is just go and stand there. Is your response? That's your defensive response. Rotate. That's what his response is.
I'm asking for plays on the basketball.
If you get in the way, if you get in the path of a dribbler, that's your space. That's always been your space. That's what I'm saying. Is like you should not be allowed to just run straight over a guy who's in your path. I do agree that there can be some very dangerous plays when this happens. I think they should call flagrants on the dangerous plays, like the Anthony Davis.
But you're saying it's illegal guarding position.
They're all dangerous plays, Jay. They're all dangerous plays.
But
they all are. You're creating a collision.
So now we're asking the referees to allow charges, but if it's a dangerous one, call flagrant. How does that make sense? That's going against the rule.
If it's a dangerous blocking call, it's a flagrant foul. Like if Kevin Love slides over and it's very dangerous on Giannis, that could be a flagrant foul. And I think that would be a rule that would deter people from sliding in late. It would still allow you to maintain legal guarding position as a defender. I just don't understand the point of allowing a guy full steam ahead with, like, why is it his space if he's just running straight ahead? Why are you not allowed to rotate over and get in the way? I'm not saying like the late stuff can be very dangerous,
but you're allowing that.
But I'm saying if you call that a flagrant, if you slide in late and you take like an egregious block and that's a flagrant, that deters some of that. But I think like if Giannis can't get called for charges on weak side, like he's just running straight for the rim every single time, and he's going to dunk every single time. And I think that's awful for the game. It's awful for, like, he should not be.
I think in a world where you've constructed this straw man and ignored literally all the changes I'm proposing, then yes, I agree with you.
Well, let me put just a couple of things here. Just a couple of things. One, first off, play better defense and don't let Giannis get to the rim. Then actually play.
I would argue taking the charges straight defense.
And stuff with hold on a second. And stuff that Zach was saying exactly gives you more opportunities to be more physical with Giannis up front before he gets to the rim. Second, you want to have, so you just made more reviews. Then you put more on the ref's plate now with, okay, we're going to review every charge, every block call. Excuse me, we're going to review every block call to go see if it's a flagrant. Now you just added, I don't know, 5 to 10 more minutes of reviews of not basketball, but of reviews here. Just make this easier. It's difficult for the refs to call. It's a dangerous play. Curry broke his hand in 2019 off Baines trying to draw a charge. Like we're going to lose players off of this stuff. Like this just doesn't make sense.
Obviously, yesterday was.
I guess you don't understand when people are done talking.
I thought you were done.
No, because I was trying to talk and then you kept going, oh, okay, this and that. But all I'm saying is we're making this a collision sport. That's not the game. And when you're saying, what are you supposed to do when Giannis gets to the rim? Play defense. It's that simple. It's not stand there. Standing there is not playing defense. If you can't stand in the way, if you can't literally just stand in the way and you get trucked and there's no charge, like there's you're rotating over, you're not standing in the way. You're just barely getting there in time. A lot of times that's the case with this stuff.
So, and my other point here is obviously yesterday was a dark day. There were 2 injuries off block charge plays, and so right now this is something that's on everybody's mind. How many injuries realistically happen because of this play? It seems very dangerous because there's a lot of contact and a lot of collisions that happen. How many can you go back and remember that a block charge call actually resulted in injuries? I
don't have a number for you, but I can tell you too many. Like that's just like,
but it's not a lot.
It's too many.
It's not a lot.
Dangerous play,
but still too many. It's not a lot. Still too many. Like I don't know what to tell you on that. Like it's still too many. As Mo mentioned,
and you're going to trust the refs to distinguish between flagrant and what's dangerous and not. I'm sorry.
We don't do that in the first place.
That's what we do in every situation. Like that's
right.
That's
and
what
we always agree with them. We always agree with them. Like it's like the idea that you were going to say no, charges are cool, but the dangerous ones call flagrant. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand how you can have both of those things coexist. You trust in Ed Malloy to determine if that was a dangerous slide in by Kevin Love.
I just believe that if you do take away a weak side charge, the implications of that for defense, even with the proposed changes, would be so bad, and it would lead to just so many dunks and layups that it would just be disgusting.
I don't agree. I think it would actually make defense way more competitive. Which, by the way, would be nice. When we don't have the Wizards with the exact same offensive rating as the 04-05 Suns, I think maybe we would have a better game. Like we have a good game right now, but it's too much in favor of the offense. So I would like to agree. I would like to make things way more competitive for the defense while also, again, we're making a fucking TV show here. Like that's what it is. That's what basketball is. It's a TV show. It's not a collision sport. It's a contact sport, as Mo said. Simple as that.
Today's show is brought to you by Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/NBA Show 22 to start hiring now. When you're drafting your fantasy team, you ever wish you could handpick the best stars for your business team? If you're building your talent roster, you need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills. We can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like matching, assessments, and virtual interviews. If you hate waiting, Indeed just makes hiring easy. You can do it all in one place. With Indeed, matching as soon as you sponsor a post, you get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Boom! Hiring at warp speed. Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why with Indeed, you only pay for quality applications that match your must-have job requirements. Visit Indeed.com/NBA Show 22 to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/NBA Show 22. Indeed.com/NBA Show 22. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
What else do we have, guys? Austin Reeves.
We'll see you guys later.
Austin Reeves. Oh my God. The closer in a game in which the Grizzlies gave up a 15-0 run to close out that game. The Lakers took a 15-0 run to end up winning by 16. It wasn't LeBron. It wasn't AD. It was Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. Trey, what did you say? They're calling him Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Man, so I was scrolling Twitter. I don't know who said it. I just quickly glanced. So if I didn't give you credit for it, I'm sorry. Shouts to them. But yeah, they're calling him Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is kind of sacrilegious because I'm like, So sorry to my Muslim homies listening. I definitely wasn't trying to be offensive. You know
Happy
what I'm saying?
Ramadan.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be offensive, but that was funny, and I seen
Happy
it.
Ramadan, Mo.
You're
Again,
fine. It wasn't offensive.
you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It might be haram. You know what I mean?
I
don't
laughed.
know.
I don't know what I
All
laughed.
right, cool. But yes, it's taken the internet by storm. But yo, Austin Reeves has been a good player, right? He's showed up. He's figured out his job and what he's supposed to do on this roster. And he's reaping the benefits of playing for the Lakers. That's what comes with it. You either succeed or you fail, right? And most of the time, players can't handle that. He has stepped in. He went to his agent. Him and his agent decided that they wanted to sign with the Lakers instead of trying to get drafted. Austin Reeves has been doing this since been playing with Lon Kruger, where he performed, doing the same stuff we've seen right now. Now, all of a sudden, I see $100 million man. I retract my statements.
Oh man,
You can play.
He's
AR-15.
He's making
etc. I want to dial back a little bit. Again, good basketball player, but do you do this right? And again, Jay Williams said, it's maybe the Lakers have a bigger issue of like entering LeBron back into this and keeping the ball in Austin Rivers' hand. I still think that's madness, right? First of all, he is thriving. He's making big shots. His confidence is high. He has a sneaker deal now, right? And I think he's going to make, a good amount of money for what he does. But at the end of the day, he's still not the focus point of this. You know what I mean? It's a good story.
He was yesterday. They literally just had LeBron space. It was crazy. Like they literally had LeBron space out while Austin Rivers cooked and ran pick and rolls.
Well, that's the thing. LeBron told D'Angelo Russell, get out of the way. And also, we're starting to see LeBron make smarter plays, higher IQ plays, right? 38, starting to get tired. You trust, he might trust Reeves more than Anthony Davis at this point. So to actually, deliver, and his confidence is high. Why take away that confidence? Let him cook. You know what I mean? But again,
I'm him.
I like Reeves.
Oh God, I was with him until he did the on him thing. I hate that thing.
Buddy right there.
I hate that shit, man.
The I'm him, the cookout invite, I'm not with. Okay. But our colleague Shams said he reminds him of Gordon Hayward. I push back. I don't see it. I do think that he has wiggle room. He has a little bag going. He has the confidence.
Not quite the playmaker Gordon was.
But Gordon Hayward was different in Utah.
Yeah. He
was different, dog. Like, I ain't gonna get lazy and compare these white players, man. These white players can separate. You know what I mean?
It reminds me of Luke Kennard, guys. It's
kind of reminds me of Asia.
Yeah.
But don't get it wrong. Austin Reeves is a good basketball player.
Got some John Barry to his game.
He can play anywhere in this league.
Yeah,
I think people were questioning it for a while. You know what I mean? They were mixing him up with, was it Matt Ryan, the Uber driver?
Yeah.
Right, for a minute. So I don't, no disrespect to Uber drivers and Matt Ryan, but that was the connection to that. And it was almost like, hey, we have a limit of having white players on the Lakers. You gotta go, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Austin Reeves has earned his keep. He's going to get paid. He's an essential leg to their success, and is going to continue to thrive. But I love the LeBron lie, where he says he's seen him in practice and
couldn't help himself.
That his game was fit for my style of play. Not the Lakers, but my style of play. You didn't see that with Mr. Westbrook?
All right. That's a good question. That's a good question. Look, I would not expect Rui to do any of this again in this series, right?
Or career, but
yeah, he hasn't been the best 3-point shooter. Which is weird. I actually like his shot. I think he's got a good shooting form. It's just, I don't know. He just doesn't make them.
Just doesn't go in.
Except for yesterday. I would say, Jay, like, you've been on this Austin Reeves thing for a little bit, which, we know why. But I think
he's just got a lot of game.
Yeah, and he's white. But He's you did say this like where he's got some stuff to his game, which I don't really think we saw until, or we didn't see as consistently until LeBron was out this last time, right? LeBron was out and the Lakers went on a run, and a big part of that was Austin Reeves was expanding his game, and we saw a lot of that yesterday. Like, yeah, he had a couple of big shots down the stretch to put this thing out of reach. He had a nice assist. Like, I think for the most part, he showed like kind of everything that you've been talking about as he operated that game.
Yeah, and he went under the screen and he pulled up for three. They guarded him one way. He snakes it and goes into like the fadeaway. He's great at drawing fouls and creating contact. Like, and honestly, dating back to college, he's always had all that stuff. He didn't have the shot, like the outside shot just wasn't there. And as that's gotten better, it's just kind of unlocked everything else for him, because he's a big guard. He's an athletic guard. He has a lot of wiggle to his game. But you're right. Like, LeBron being out, it was a terribly timed injury for the Lakers considering what was going on. But they survived it partly because Austin Reeves just stepped in. But still, I mean, game one is in the balance, and LeBron is on the right wing just spacing out while they let Austin Reeves cook. I don't think anyone saw that coming. I don't think anyone saw the supporting cast in Rui and Austin Reeves kind of winning them the game. And then Anthony Davis was just incredible defensively. Anthony Davis was unbelievable defensively.
Why were the Grizzlies going at him one-on-one in the first half? It was just like, all right, your turn to try him. Your turn to try him. Like, what are you doing?
Aldama, go at it. Like, what?
2 minutes in was just like, all right, 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Let me try him.
Let me, but the Reeves stuff that you're talking about, Jay, the stuff that was really kind of crazy to me was they kind of put LeBron on the weak side and let Reeves go. I thought it was to get LeBron the opportunities to attack the second side and really go. But Reeves was looking him off. It was amazing. Just the confidence.
Nah, bro, I don't need you. I'm him.
On his end. The behind the back pass to Rui for three from the baseline was nice, incredible. Too. Like, just all those plays. This was a huge, huge, huge game for the Lakers to get this off the supporting cast, because now it's like, all right, game two. This is one of those games where, all right, I'm expecting a big LeBron game. I'm expecting him to go off in this instance to really kind of try to attack in that, kind of really steal this game and the series. If Memphis goes down 2-0, I got back to concerns.
But yeah, like, well, even if Ja is playing, but he's not like healthy, like that wrist is bothering him. Do you guys give Memphis a shot here?
No, because Dillon Brooks is going to shoot a whole lot more.
The Tyus Jones is so good, and their defense is so good that I think they have a chance. Even if Ja doesn't play, but it's a much taller task. And the thing about, even though it's the left wrist, his non-shooting wrist, the way he plays, the amount of times he's gonna end up falling and crashing, it's just like it could put a lot of pain on that, and the pain tolerance could be a real issue.
I mean, if you're Dennis Schroeder or D'Angelo Russell, aren't you swiping down when like take fouls whenever you can? Like, I mean, it sounds shitty, but like that's the league.
Sweep the leg.
Too, you brought up Tyus Jones. You brought up Tyus Jones. Like, the one thing, if Ja's not able to play or is limited, at least Ja will get you 6 rebounds. That's what he got yesterday before going out in this game. The Grizzlies are so undersized with all the injuries to their front court. Like, they need that rebounding help. Tyus Jones isn't going to help you in that area there. And I think that becomes a problem. They got out rebounded by 11. I think that made a big difference in that game right there. And I think that's something that going forward, you get smaller again. With playing Tyus a whole lot more, and then it becomes more difficult just to rebound. And I think that's going to be one of those things the Lakers could flex on them.
Let's go around the series a little bit. Nets Nets lose to the Sixers 121-101. Turn the ball over a ton. Mikal Bridges was great in the first half. They locked down the Nets in the second half. Anything change in your mind for that series?
I think that's all that needs to be said about that series.
All right, there we go. What about Celtics Hawks? Down 30 at the half. Hawks did come back.
That's enough. That's enough.
All right, we're good on that one too. Let's go to Knicks Cavs. All
right, cool. Good series.
Cavs could not grab a defensive rebound to save their life. Once again, Josh Hart, who Jay dismissed when I said the deadline, bad deal by the Blazers. Good deal for the Knicks. Josh Hart is just a difference maker, man. That's a winning ass player. He was great. Jalen Brunson in playoff mode, like unbelievable. Like I had Cavs in 6, I think. I'm reconsidering here.
I have questions.
These Knicks.
Yeah. And like it just brought up questions about Cleveland too. The defensive rebounding piece is huge in this series. And Cleveland, even though they play a ton of size in the front court, that was not a strength of theirs this year.
Right.
And then they have to go to Jetty Osman guarding Brunson. And it's like, I don't think that's a great idea.
Why isn't
Wait, was Okoro?
What happened with Okoro in that game? Because I would think, wouldn't he be the guy?
At one point, it looked like he banged his knee.
Or Lamar
he was limping a little bit, but I couldn't remember. Honestly, I can't, like, it's such a blur at this point. I can't remember. I just remember Chetty was fighting.
He just couldn't shoot. He couldn't make a shot, really, from Okoro, from deep. Wow. And I think that was one of those things, like, Osman was at least a little bit competent offensively on the kick out, and then he was being able to make shots. It's just the downside of, like, okay, you have Jalen now. It's like, oh, yeah. Great. Like, that's such a big issue for you defensively. I don't know, like, that hole in that 5th spot of the starting lineup and closing lineup for the Cavs is just getting bigger and bigger by the minute.
Rubio
can't
was
make shots.
Terrible. LeVert was
like
terrible.
Rubio had a
maybe
great
shouldn't have
move on one play and then just smoked
it. Yeah, that made me think of his rookie year. Yeah, maybe I overestimated Karis LeVert's ability in this series. Maybe just a little bit.
Oh, he was
terrible.
Awful.
He was so bad, man. He was so bad, and he just has to be competent. If he's competent,
I'm not even gonna lie. I love Karis LeVert, but at the end of the day, I need
seems
him.
like maybe you don't love him.
No, well, this is the thing. No, I mean, I was looking and I'm like, okay, Chetty Osman's out there.
Yeah,
Karis was supposed to be the 3-and-D guy that they acquired him for, you know what I mean? And he's not there, you know what I mean? And like, it was to a point also where Donovan Mitchell had to carry them. You know what I mean? Like, it was very dry. I'm looking like, even though people calling me a madman for having Knicks in 7, Knicks got the playoff experience. Knicks play like a team. They don't watch a lot of stuff. I think Mobley got a lot to learn. I think this team is still young. Donovan Mitchell has been battle tested, but he's not going to be able to do it alone. I think Garland's good too.
Yeah,
one thing, a long way to go.
Trey, one thing I want to see is, like, I thought Garland made a lot of good plays for others, and they just missed. Like, and I wonder if that is something that is just corrected by. We run it back again, and they hit a lot of those shots this time. Because I can't remember the stat I saw. I want to say it was something like 1 for 14 on potential assists or something like that. Maybe that stat is off, but I think it was something like that from a lot of Garland plays. Like, I thought Garland set guys up really well, and some of that was like Evan Mobley just rushing through shit throughout the whole game, right?
I mean, a lot of it is the kickouts going to Okoro, going to LeVert, going to, like, guys who just weren't making shots.
LeVert should be making shots. Like, that's his fucking job.
He should, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Okoro, I do not expect to make shots, but LeVert needs to be that guy.
LeVert, the problem with LeVert is he just hijacks too many offensive possessions where he feels like, all right, it's my turn.
Hijacking offensive possessions. Oh my God, what a great time! Your team thinks you're running shit, and you're just like, nah, I got this. Don't worry about it. Oh my God,
and it's
what
fine
a great
when it's
feeling.
Donovan Mitchell. It's not okay when it's LeVert.
Yeah, Donovan can do that shit. All right, let's go to Heat Bucks. Obviously, Giannis's status is going to change this quite a bit if he plays or doesn't play, or if he's able to be Giannis or not able to be Giannis. But Jay, do you think that Miami can do a lot of the same stuff? Obviously, not shoot 60% from 3, but can they do a lot of the same stuff, or was that kind of just the Bucks panicked a little bit without their guy? They were just jacking up threes, and now they can kind of reset and go about it better.
If they can do a lot of the same stuff, it's a huge indictment on Milwaukee's defense. Jimmy Butler was amazing. They let him get so many easy buckets that just weren't contested enough, that were just like, they just let him walk into stuff. And he had blow-bys of Chris Middleton, blow-bys of Jay Crowder, like just way too easy so many times. And Jimmy Butler, as much as he can make mid-range jumpers, the whole goal of guarding him is like stay in front and contest, and then you live with it. And they were just letting him get to the hoop. They were letting him get by them. Brook Lopez, I didn't think was as impactful as he normally is.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was a really bad performance from the Milwaukee defense. And obviously Milwaukee was a part of that. But you can't let Jimmy Butler get as many easy buckets as he did. It's just, it was such bad defense from them. Like uncharacteristically bad defense from Milwaukee on a lot of those possessions.
The one, oh, go ahead.
Just the one thing from the Heat that this game was what was so crazy that I don't think the Heat can repeat is they shot 18% higher than on the expected field goal percentage. So, I mean, it was such a high percentage. It was such an overperformance. We haven't seen anything like that in the past 5 seasons, excluding the bubble. And shout out to Zach Cram for posting that tweet out there from Second Spectrum with those numbers. But, like, that's insane. I don't think there's a way they could repeat that. 60% from 3 was absurd. I just don't know if that's something that's going to happen. And then the loss of Tyler Hero, like, they're kind of in a tough spot.
Nuggets 109, Wolves 80. We good?
Yeah. No, we need to talk about this one. We need to talk about
it. Let's save that for later on in the. Although Kyle Anderson still fighting. Just this time, not his own team, but Kyle Anderson, hothead, man.
That one was pretty funny because it was like it really was a nothing play. And Kyle Anderson just got real hot.
And Kyle Anderson
just Christian Brown just didn't want him to shoot after the buzzer.
Him. Yeah, I'm gonna elbow him for no. Like that one was on Kyle. Like before, I'll blame Rudy. That one was on Kyle, man. Suns Clippers. I want to see this play out a little bit more before we like really dive into it. I just thought, what an ugly ass game that ended up being sort of high scoring. You know, Suns just put
some gross stuff.
Yeah, Kawhi's amazing. How about that? Kawhi's amazing. I would have liked way more KD down the stretch. I actually liked the Clippers' defensive strategy a lot throughout that game. In the way they tried to take away KD as much as they could, and way they tried to take away Booker as much as they could. They kind of just at one point was like, Chris Paul, go for it. Like, we don't think you got it anymore.
I'm gonna call out Monty Williams. Monty Williams, you got to coach. You got outcoached by Ty Lue, straight up. That's it. There's no way Chris Paul should be taking all those shots, you know what I mean, late in the fourth. And then also DeAndre Ayton, you got to act like you want to be there. He made a couple plays, but he wasn't engaged fully. You had Kevin Durant standing in the corner, and most people were like, oh, well, go get it. That's not how you going to play. I mean, he was one rebound shy of a triple-double. Mm-hmm. He basically kept them in the mix. And, you know, the major play, you know, most people want to point out that Russ was 3 for 19. Russ has been 3 for 19 multiple times, but he's also contributed other ways to the game.
His defense was incredible in that game.
And he looked like UCLA Westbrook, while he got drafted, the defender. Yeah. And most people forget that he's also a defender, and with effort, you have to actually, and I think he's playing for something. He understands.
Yeah, I'm sure on Booker. Years, might have been a foul, but it was such a great play to not just block
that was
it,
clean,
but then throw it off of
hands
him.
Part of the ball, right?
That was an awesome play.
Yeah, that was clean, Jay. Devin got to play through the whistle. He was so busy caught up looking at the ref and wanted that stuff that he gotta play all the way through the whistle, and that's on him. So I do think that Monty's gonna make some adjustments. I do think that they'll play a better game, but at the end of the day, man, like, I applaud the Clippers. I applaud Kawhi Leonard for dominating. You know what I mean? He just took over in the fourth. And then, you know, Norman Powell played a great game as well.
Eric Gordon was shocking.
Oh, my God. Eric Gordon was playing like every shot. Eric Gordon was playing like he was coded in 2K to cheat.
Yes. He was.
That's how he was playing.
He was shocking. Oh, my God. Everything was long until that big shot he hit.
I was disappointed go ahead.
Sorry, Jay. I want to piggyback on Trey's Monty Williams thing. Those end of game plays, you know, that was sloppy as all hell.
Yeah.
When they couldn't inbound that play, when they couldn't inbound the ball, was just go out there and run, set screens and run. Like, there was no real like concept behind it. That was sloppy as hell, and it forced them to use that last time out. Like, I'm with Trey. Like, Monty's got to do better, especially at the end of game with those kinds of plays.
I was really disappointed in some of their doubles too. Like, why are you doubling with Eric Gordon's man instead of Russ's man? That made no sense.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know where the doubles are coming from. You have to be smarter about that. Like, Russ was on the weak side, and they doubled one pass away off.
They
Eric
got
Gordon.
lucky on a lot of those Eric Gordon misses, Jay. Like, they got lucky on a lot of that stuff because they were leaving the wrong guy for sure.
And that made no sense to me. And then the other part of the game that really, really stood out, and I think this is why Kevin Durant missing as much time as he did after the trade and the limited time they had with their main guys really mattered. It's not because of Kevin Durant. You know what you're going to get from him. They never got the time to experiment with other lineups and to learn what fits and to learn the groups that work best. Their bench was terrible. They played 11 guys, and they were just like, it was like they were throwing darts, trying to find something that worked. They couldn't find it. The bench got just absolutely ruined. And that, I think part of that is they just don't know who to trust and didn't have the time with everybody healthy and everybody available to decide on the right guys.
Let's go to Kings Warriors. I want to get thoughts from Trey and thoughts from Mo on this game before we give Jay King his Kings minute. So Mo, what's your takeaway from Kings 126, Warriors 123?
It was an absolutely amazing game. Fox, unbelievable down the stretch. But I really feel like the Warriors shot selection after that Curry unbelievable rainbow three over the backboard.
Yeah.
I like that was an amazing shot. After that, I felt like they went for like 2 or 3 really bad threes, quicken the offense. One of them was Clay coming off of a pin down and then a side dribble. Didn't think it was a good one right there. The other one off top of my head, Curry coming off a dribble handoff. Fox did a great job with the rear view contest on that, but I thought Curry had the lane. I just felt like they got too shot happy with the three. I felt like they could have attacked the paint a little bit more in those final minutes there. But I mean, credit the Kings, man. That was an impressive ass win.
It really was. Trey, what'd you get from that game, from Kings beating the Warriors game 1?
Good for them. They punched the bullet. They beat up Big Brother finally in the driveway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was cool. It was kind of like, I made a comment about like, yo, if you don't defend, you don't play on Mike Brown's teams. And somebody was like, they don't even defend. And it's like, you still got to defend, even though they have a not sexy style. And they, it's the first to 120 is their Lawler's law. But at the end of the day, De'Aaron Fox on the big stage showed up. Malik Monk does what he does. And, the fact that Steph Curry could have tied this shit and sent it to overtime off a one-hand floater is an insult to injury. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, he knows that he's not going to be put in that situation, and they will be better. That's Andrew Wiggins' first game. Again, I don't want to make this about the Warriors, and I don't want to take away what the Kings have done. It was more cringe than the guy in the T-shirt trying to light the beam after the beam was lit.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
They fucked that up, man. Just let De'Aaron light that thing, man. Come on.
The best was a young kid in the crowd.
Oh, drop 40 on
Steph Curry that he'd had 40 dropped on his head. That was fantastic.
All right,
just
Jay,
an amazing moment.
Jay, your Kings minute is about to begin, but I want to play you a little intro music, okay? All right, so just bear with me.
I'm waiting.
Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday.
It's not your Kings minute. It's my fucking Kings minute. I'm from Sacramento, Jay. You don't get one this week
because
you're
not from Sacramento. You gave up your city time.
He was in Lady Bird.
I was in Lady Bird. It's in my fucking neighborhood. You see the El Dorado Savings Bank? That's 2 blocks from my house. You picked against the Kings. You tweeted they were about to get smacked. It was going to be silent in there. You said they were going to get swept in this series. You said it on this very podcast. You don't get a Kings minute. I'm telling you, I picked Kings in 6. I said the Warriors aren't going to defending champs. No more. There's a new crown, and it's in Sacramento. You don't get to defend the Kings here. You don't get to big up the Kings here. You don't get to brag about De'Aaron Fox or Mike Brown or DeMontis Sabonis or Malik Monk. That's my home city. It's my hometown. It's my Sacramento brethren there, and you do not get to pretend to be a part of it. You don't know about the Tower Bridge. You don't know about Vladdy's Tunel 21 Club. You don't know about that shit. You never lifted weights.
You don't know about Kenny Thomas Taco Spot.
You didn't lift weights with Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger in a athletic club downtown one time.
Wait, you actually did that?
I did. It was super weird, man. It was super weird. Like I was just in there working out, and he came in, and all the security piled into the weight room, and he's just walking around giving people tips. I'm like, dude, I'm clearly not here to get ripped. I'm just trying to get a couple.
Did you go to cardio at that point?
I had Arnold Schwarzenegger tell me to oh, this is how you do a curl or whatever. Like that's how you do a curl. I don't do that shit. But you don't get to do that, Jay. You don't get a Kings Minute this week because you're not a part of the Kings ever again. You fraud. That's going to do it for this edition of the Basket Buds. Make sure you subscribe to The Athletic. Make sure you're checking out all Jay's
That was an
amazing
incredible
Celtics
fourth quarter,
coverage.
though. Malik Monk, Tierra
And
Fox,
make sure
just an incredible
that
fourth
you
quarter.
are finding your way to all of the great coverage, not just with the Athletic podcast. Make sure you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you're checking out the Daily Ding Live every night when the games are over. You're going to see the best analysis out there. Jay, final thoughts on the Kings? Doesn't matter. Dave, end the pod.